All right, excellent. Good morning, Bot Cave. We are live here with Debbie DuBois. I'm so excited you're here, Debbie. Thanks for fitting us into your busy schedule. I know you've been on the move quite a bit, so I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. As I was mentioning to you beforehand, we have quite a few people that asked to be tagged live for this. So, I'm going to pull this up now, tag everybody. Usually, everyone kind of comes in, after a few minutes anyway, and then we'll get rolling here.
Okay, sounds great.
How was your vacation, by the way?
My working vacation, it was great. I learned something that basically, if you plan to do a bunch of things, you're never going to get it done. But if you just allow things to unfold one moment at a time, you'll be surprised at how much you can do.
Excellent. I love
Yeah.
it.
I did like 3 video interviews. I did a documentary, a 15-minute documentary, a training program. I mean, it was amazing. And I got to
That's
see
great.
gorgeous scenery. I was in Banff, Canada. I was in Niagara Falls. It was really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Found the post. I'm going to tag everybody and then we'll get rocking here. As always, everybody, if you are with us live, give us a hashtag live. If you're watching this interview via replay, please comment replay or hashtag replay. All right. I guess we can get started with the first question, Debbie, as I'm kind of
Okay.
tagging everybody here.
Yep.
So tell us more about yourself, how you got started, and what your background is in digital marketing.
Okay. Basically, I got started. I'm an old timer. I basically came into digital marketing in '97.
Wow.
So yeah, I started my own consulting agency back then. And I had a client who said, can you put our statement of qualifications on the internet? And that's what we called it then. We didn't have a name for it called a website, really.
Okay.
And so someone that was in high school taught me how to code. And I took a brochure and I put it online. And that was the first website that I did. So, and then I just started to pick up web design clients. And I actually used that like while I was raising my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was a great way for me to be at home with my kids, and I did a lot of small business websites, but around that time I became very dedicated to small business.
Okay.
I have a background in all kinds. I have a variety of experiences in corporate, and I just decided that I really wanted to help people break away from the big companies and really go and do what they want to do what they do best. And that's what I've been dedicated to the whole time. So, yeah, over the years, it was about 3 or 4, no, I guess it's closer to 4 or 5 years ago. I met my business partner, and that's when we decided my kids had gotten a little bit older. And that's when we decided to really take the agency to a new level. So then we really started. I went out and actually actively sold and actively, got involved. And then, of course, I met Jeff Miller, and then I became, much more involved in Facebook advertising. So we're really on a trajectory right now that's just like taking off, and it's really exciting to see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you still have a business partner?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yep,
Excellent.
I do.
Awesome. Have they just always been like a friend of yours, or is that someone that you kind of like outsourced or?
No, it's funny. He was a friend of mine on Facebook. We became the best of friends. He's in London, and I was really struggling at one point trying to keep up with the technology for web design,
Right.
and he introduced me to WordPress. And see, I'm a marketing consultant first and foremost. I really enjoy sitting at my computer in my pajamas at night working and all that stuff. But I was getting to where I was like, oh,
Amen.
I can't, yeah, with HTML coding. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't get this to display right. And it was really like slowing me down for what I'm here for. So
Mm-hmm.
WordPress it was perfect for me because it enabled me to do design much quicker, and I could focus on what I focus on best, or what I do best, which is, helping position small businesses instead of worrying about whether the code works or not. So
Awesome.
And he had a lot of, bigger corporate experience. So he brought a lot of that to me, production schedules, things of that nature. So he has that whole technical side. He's the one that coordinates a lot of like contractors and stuff like that. So it's been
Awesome. So
really
you kind
good.
of each have your own strengths that you utilize to kind of keep your company rocking and rolling.
Yeah, because I'm the public relations person. I'm the one that goes out and sells. I'm the one that's customer service. I'm the one that, has the meetings with the clients and things like that. And then he kind of keeps things rolling when I'm not at the desk.
Awesome.
It's a nice
Okay.
blend. Yeah.
Excellent. We do have a few people in here now. Good morning, Tyrell. And then Jerry Thread says, woohoo. And Debbie, you are awesome.
Oh, hey. Good to see you guys here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go to the next question, which is something I think a lot of people, some people do, some people don't. So do you serve several niches, or do you focus on kind of one industry or niche?
I've never had a niche market. Well, I say that. I service a lot of like home service businesses, like fire, smoke, and water companies, real estate agents, home improvement. I've had that kind of. I did a lot of real estate. Well, I said real estate builders, home builders.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a lot of that. But when 2018 came and that whole market went. I basically, just diversified, and I pretty much handle any market that comes along. And the beauty of, especially groups that we have here on Facebook now, is that it gives me a good opportunity to collaborate. So whenever I pick up different markets, there's almost always someone that has that experience. But in terms of web design, we do any kind of web design. We do any kind of, we focus more on the web design and organic SEO, of course, and adding to it the Facebook advertising and the sales funnels and things like that. So, yeah.
Awesome. I actually made a post in my group last week asking if people prefer Facebook ads or SEO. If you had to pick one right now, what would you say is more effective?
Facebook advertising right now.
Right.
Yeah, I really think that. I've had some, it's really exciting to watch too. When you see, it's like, wow, look at all the people that are just, responding to this ad and the number of leads that you can get that way. But I believe in SEO. I mean, when we build our websites, everything is organically focused because we really are content based, and we really we do the keyword research ahead of time, and we make sure that, our pages always rank really good organically. So especially in small business, when it's local, it's very easy to use organic search engine optimization instead of having to do all the keyword, SEM rush and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Have you seen this? This wasn't a question I mentioned I was going to ask, but have you seen less of a demand for websites in the last few years? Interesting. Okay.
No, and I'll tell you why. Well, it really goes to answer, a question that you're, coming up with, but, a professional face is really, really important. And a lot of people are finding out that, the websites that they did a long time ago to get on, everyone had to have a website. They're not working for them.
Right.
And I think that's why they've abandoned websites, because there's other ways to get traffic. But you know what? There's nothing like a good face. There's nothing like a good brand. And, when I'm discussing with people, a lot of times I'm actually instrumental in helping them realize your website, sucks, man. You need to do something about it. And it makes a huge difference. Even if it's your statement, it's what you're saying to people. So, yeah, a lot of redesigns going on right now. That's our big campaign, is redesigns, because you go out there and you look. I mean, I did one pool company and I just hit it out of the park with the pool company. You start going to the pool companies and you say, oh my God, you guys, you've got to keep up with the competition,
Yeah, it looks like you designed that back when AOL was still relevant.
I know. I remember those days.
Oh, I do. I still remember the dial-up, noise as you were like logging in, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then 20 years from now, we're going to be saying all this about like Google Chrome and everything else, So it's like you said, it's always changing and all that. So
yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. And then if you guys do have any questions for Debbie, go ahead and post them here. There is a little bit of a delay from like us being live to for what we can see here. So post them and we'll ask them here.
Well, and I was going to say, I'll be happy to go back afterwards and look if there's any questions as people catch the replays. I mean, I do that all the time. So
awesome.
I mean, I expect a lot of people will catch it on the replay, and I'll be happy to go in and answer questions then too.
Perfect. The biggest one, question number 3, and which is always the biggest question I get asked, and everybody wants to know is, what works best for you with customer acquisition?
Absolutely face to face, hands down, no doubt about it. And it's funny because when my partner and I decided to go into business, he was like, you need to get out there and sell. And I'm like, I don't want to sell. And he's like, you need to sell. And I'm like, I don't want to. I'm not doing it. I'm not knocking on doors. And he's like, you need to. And I'm like, I'm not. So it was kind of funny. But what I ended up doing was joining business associations. I was already a member of the Chamber of Commerce. I joined professional business associations in different counties, in different townships, and I really started networking. And as it would have it, I guess it's because I'm a real people person and I was blessed. I just kept meeting all the president of the organizations, and I was personable, I guess you could say. And I really take an interest in other people. So of course I just built relationships that way. And so people started to really know who I was around town. And finally, Metro Atlanta Business Associations is like 20 counties wide. And I became involved with them. So there's always opportunities to do booths. There's always opportunities to talk to people at luncheons and things like that. But you know what I have found the most successful is to ask people about their businesses. Tell me about what you do. Well, how do you get your customers? Well, and it's a curiosity, and people like to talk about their businesses. And so then in addition to that, what I have found, it's funny because I'm pulling together several different things that I'm learning in this Facebook community that we have going here. Some people were doing like introductions, the Ravi method, where you do the video introductions, like, oh, I see you're doing this for ads. What I decided to do, since I do a lot of videos, I just decided to do introductions like, hey, I remember meeting you at such and such. I was just thinking you are perfect for this product offering that we have. I've had 50% response rate from that. When I've met someone, and then I put a video out to them just saying, hey, it's so good to see you. And thanks for, talking with me about this and that. People are very responsive to it. Number one, you're not calling them in the middle of their busy day. I usually text it to them, text a video to them or their messenger. And I'm even saying, hey, when you have a second to watch this, you don't have to drop everything right now because I'm calling you. 50% response rate, people saying, yes, I'd like to talk to you more, or,
wow. That's huge.
It's building rapport. So now when I go to networking events, I don't even broach what I do. I take mental notes. Can I help this person or can I not help this person? And that's the way I think about things. I always think about it from a standpoint, can I help you? Right, and I go through the ways that I can help them. Well, do they need a website? Well, do they need Facebook advertising? That kind of thing. File it away. And then as I have time, because I am really busy, I just shoot videos out. So that's how I have, primarily handled my marketing.
That's awesome. And then that's huge too, with 50% response rate, cold messages or cold email or cold calling is, much, much less. So it's,
but I gotta share something with you. I have actually had good response with cold emailing too, or cold calling. Really? There was a car wash. Yeah. In fact, it's funny. I'll have to tell you this, but there was a car wash that I had approached in one town, and I saw that there was one closer to my house. So I sent off an email. I looked it up on the Better Business Bureau, found out who the owner was, and just sent off an email, or not an email. I think, it was I think it was on Messenger. Didn't know if it was going to get to the owner or not, but I said, this is for the owner of the car wash.
Mm-hmm.
and basically said, hey, I'm looking to do work with this car wash over here, your franchise, whatever. I actually got a response back saying, hey, I'll send this up to our franchisor to see if it's something that we can even do. So
Wow.
he actually responded to me. And the thing that I wanted to add is that a big thing that I have found in terms of being successful in sales is that I let it go. I let people know what I do. I let them know how I can help them. And then I'm like, if you're interested, great. If you're not, great, because I'm just continuing to keep myself in front of other people. Well, I did an exercise in kind of letting go of like attachments to outcomes, because it's very hard when you're in sales not to want to close everybody or to get disappointed when you put effort in and nothing comes of it. I finally said, universe, you send me those people. Let them call me. I want them to call me.
Right.
24 hours, the car wash that I was working on actually called me and said, you know what? We're actually ready because they had just opened a new car wash. They're like, we're actually ready to do that. So that's one of the things on my plate this week.
Wow. That's incredible. And so was this just a cold email, or was this a message to their Facebook page or to the owner's personal page?
The first contact that I made with the car wash is I just went there and I paid $100 to have my car detailed. and I basically just talked to the guy and I was just like, oh, how are you? Because I'm thinking Jeff Miller, right? Car wash. And my partner's like, get us a car wash kind of thing. And so I just started talking to him, and he was happy to do his own clothing business. So we just got gabbing, and then we started talking. So then I just kept following up. Hey, what's going on with the new car wash that's opening up? And I went by for another detail. And the truth was they did such a great job on my car that I was like, everyone in town ought to know about this car wash. And so, a lot of times for me, that's it too, is how excited I get about the clients, So I just kept following up. And the last time I talked to him, he said, well, we just opened it. It's like a $5 million car wash, right? I mean, that's how much they invested in this car wash. It's huge. It's a great car wash. So anyways, then I was like, where are you at? And he's like, oh, we've got our hands full. We just put in a new, customer ordering system and all of this. And I was like, okay, well, you just let me know when you're ready. So then they called me when they were ready. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then, again, people can feel when you're excited about, stuff and passionate about it, so that's fantastic.
Well, that is one of the things that I feel that, I've started, especially when I stopped resisting sales. When I started realizing this isn't really, there is a bit of closing to it. And I'll be honest, I'm still working on that piece of it, the closing piece, because I'm a pretty nice person. And it's really hard sometimes for me to say, where's the check, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better. But yeah, when you really think about sales is really about relationships and connection. And if you care about what someone does and you're really dedicated to trying to get them more business, they sense the authenticity in that. They don't feel, so it's worked really well.
Yeah, the last client I just picked up, I'd actually pitched her in like a cold video message like a year ago. And then we were like friends on Facebook, and I noticed because of like the info and ads tab now, you can view on the desktop of a business page.
Right.
I noticed she was running ads with someone else, and there was like no offer. There was no like, it just went to the website, and I just said, I was like, look, I want you to use your money wisely. If you're gonna, this is what's wrong. There's no offer. They're going to your website. There's no. When you're running ads, you should be getting name, email, phone number, and whoever's doing your ads now just is not doing that. And so now, here we are, like you said, we built that relationship. She had that trust. And when it came time, it was, here's my fee. And she was like, perfect. Send me the PayPal link right now. And there you go. So,
and that's the number one rule in sales, really just don't ever give up. Yeah. I think keeping your name in front of them, I build email lists. I continue, even when I'm super busy, I make time to go to my business association meetings just to be seen, just to be remembered, because, people aren't always thinking of you. But if you can keep your name in front of them, when they need you, they know that you care about them and they're going to choose you over the next guy, because who is the next guy, right?
Yeah, and you're going where the business owners are. That's fantastic. Those are people that, for a chamber of commerce, there's a fee to be a part of that. For, BNI, there's a fee to be a part of that. So
Right?
they see
That's
the
where
value in it there, and they're there to network and get customers themselves potentially, or referrals, but also, to maybe see if, someone like yourself can help them out with their business too. And I always say, well, we do, we'll never go out of style. Every business needs leads. So
Well, and then it's really fun because I've actually had people invite me into their closed networking groups where,
wow.
there's no other web designer or Facebook advertising person. And so
And
we,
then you're that go-to person.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's good.
Good morning, Todd. He's asking, when you make a quick video to send a potential client, what platform do you use?
Um, well, I'm trying to think, gosh, what's the one I'm using? Screenomatic?
Okay.
I think Screenomatic is the one I'm using. Um, Sometimes I just shoot a quick video on Movie Maker. I mean, it's like I grab whatever platform. But yeah, I think Screenomatic is the big one if I'm wanting to show them anything on the screen.
Okay.
But a lot of times I'm not. It's not about that. It's just about saying, hey, I've got some thoughts for you, or connect. And people really respond.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was huge. If you guys are on, give us a hashtag value, what Debbie was just saying was incredible. And you guys
Oh,
should all go out this week to some kind of networking group and get face to face with people. I think some people get discouraged by sending off, quick video messages or cold emails or cold or whatever, and you get discouraged and think there's no other way to do it. Debbie just laid everything out there for you. So
that is one of the things that I'm really dedicated is to helping people. And it's something I've actually thought about doing some training programs on is how to network. But it really is associations. And I would, if you're starting out, I would pick some place, that you go pick one and go regularly. Pick one. I picked several because I knew people who knew people and they said, hey, come to this one. And I ended up in several. But if you just pick one and go and don't think of it as I'm there to sell anybody, I'm just there to meet who's in my community. That's it.
right.
I just want people to know who I am because someone told me something and I really believe this is true. It's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Mm-hmm.
So LinkedIn, all of those things, make sure that you're presenting yourself in a really professional way because it's who knows you and what they think of you. So your professionalism and your level of care and all that stuff, people get to know who you are and they want to recommend you even if they don't need you.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome. Another value bomb, man. They're just like flowing right now.
I'm glad. I really like to help people a lot.
Awesome. All right. And then you kind of touched on that just then. So what advice do you have for people that are just starting out? I know we have, I think, just over 700 people in the group now. So I'm sure a lot of people will watch this interview. There was a lot of, I think, like I mentioned, there were a lot of people that wanted to be tagged when we went live today. What advice do you have for those people that are just starting out and are, we've all been there and kind of you get overwhelmed. What advice do you have for those people? Or I guess if you could go back in time and tell yourself something maybe that you like, struggle with in the beginning, what advice would you have?
Well, I've got several things that I can say. Number one, definitely get out there and meet people. And you don't have to beat yourself up over the head about selling and all that stuff. Just get out there and join one or two organizations and show up regularly and make friends. Mm-hmm. Give yourself time for people to get to know who you are. Don't expect yourself to go out. Do not go out and start handing out your business card. All right. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of things that people do. Don't do that. Don't ever give your card to someone unless they ask for it, but ask for their card. Hey, can I have your card? I'd like to know more about your business. I'd like to go look at your website and see what you do. So that from a marketing and sales standpoint, that's probably the most important thing I can say when you're starting out, and give yourself time to build those relationships. Don't sit there and expect yourself close. People sense that energy from you. They don't want to be around people that are trying to get something from them. They want to be around people that are trying to help them and take an interest in them. So that's the first thing that I'd say. The second thing that I'd say is brand yourself. I know that there's a big push in the community. There's a lot of young, I call you guys all young whippersnappers because you guys, the millennials, you guys are so far ahead of me with you got this going and that going with all the technology. And I count on you for that. Especially bots. I'm going to need help with that. But, just to give you an example, cards. This is my card for my 30 customer opportunities. I took time to professionally design one with my logo. It's a leave behind. My card. No one throws my card away. It's plastic. They play with it at their desks. I can't tell you how many people I've had that have said, yeah, I hold your card in my handful. It's like a talisman or something. Website. I know that there's a big push in people saying, oh, well, your Facebook advertising or whatever, it's all in your page. No, it's not. Because there's a lot of people you're going to meet out there that aren't on Facebook, that haven't mastered Facebook. They're not looking at you on Facebook. They're getting to know who you are as a person. A website is an excellent way to make a statement about yourself. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be like a 20-page statement of qualification. 5 pages, really professionally done, is going to tell people I'm in business and I'm serious about myself. The other thing that I did, which isn't that expensive, is I wish I had them up. I've got 2 banners. I've got one banner for my agency. I do web design, I do SEO, I do social media and Facebook advertising. Then I have another one specifically with this picture. It's branded again, and it's very small. It probably would stand about this tall, but I put it on, my table and people come up. So when I do a booth, I'm competing with the big guys. I may be a 2-man agency, which we also work with contractors, but it's all in how you present yourself. So I want to say, yes, make sure your Facebook page represents, and it's a great place to engage people that are on Facebook, but don't ignore branding yourself and your image. I've got my name tag. I wear it every day. I wear it. You'll see. All right. Look at this. I'm in a dress. Okay. I'm wearing a dress to work. This is my home office, but I show up professional every day. Image matters to you and how you feel about yourself. And also when you go out there at a moment's notice, I can go meet someone because I'm ready to go. So those are some of the things that I would say for someone that's starting out would be helpful to know.
Excellent. Huge. Again, that was incredible. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Last question that I have, then we will open it up for Q&A. So if you guys do have any questions for Debbie, go ahead and post them now. Last question is a big topic now. Again, as we've been talking about, the marketing changing and lots of that. Do you use chatbots or landing pages, and do you have a preference?
Right now I'm using landing pages. I definitely am getting more interested in bots. I just had my hands full so much with so many different things that are happening to our agency right now that I haven't really had time to focus on the bots as much as I want to, but it's definitely on our agenda for this year, from now until the next 12 months. We use landing pages. We have found them to be pretty effective. I know there's some people that use the Facebook landing page. I haven't really experienced much of that.
Lead ads?
Yeah, I'm pretty much using ClickFunnels. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm using. But yeah, I totally, bots fascinate me. I need to know more of them. But oh my God, I'm only one person. Over the last, several months, I've been going to school, absorbing all this stuff that all my millennial friends, are sharing. It's like my head's going to explode someday because it's too much.
All of us young whippersnappers, like you said.
I love it. I mean, it's so funny because it's sometimes hard for me to believe that I'm so much older than all you guys. I've been here for a while. Oh, you guys keep me young. Cheers.
That's hilarious. Well, that's all the questions I have. Again, if you guys do have any questions, go ahead and post them now while we still have Debbie here. Can
I ask you a question?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. What do you love most about your agency? What do you love most about what you do?
It's like you kind of said, like helping people. Like I generally, there's like good clients and bad, or not bad clients, but people that you probably know you couldn't produce for necessarily.
Right.
So it's just, like I remember like running like my first ad it was actually for my wedding photographer like a couple years ago. And I remember just like refreshing my Gmail email like every few minutes. Cause back then it was just, email notifications, no texting, anything like that. And I was like, I remember like seeing that first, like, you have a new lead interested in your services. And I was like, oh my God, yes. My photographer's name was Alex. And I was like, call him now, call him and close him, but it was like just that excitement and the thought
Right.
of being your own boss and at the same time helping other people accomplish their goals in their business. That's what really keeps me going. And I've always said, like, I have a 16-month-old son now. My wife is due with our second child in January. I've always
Bless.
wanted to be, thank you. I've always wanted to be that dad that, could pick up their kids from school and had that freedom. So that's my goal, and that's what keeps me going. So
That's awesome. Yeah, being your own boss and not working for the man, that kind of thing. And being there, I'm telling you, for a lot of the younger men coming in, it's like I love the fact that they're really participating in the parenting and in wanting to be there. That was one of my motivations for working in the house, is I wanted to be there. And granted, like I have a 14-year-old and going to be taking her to school before too long. But anyways, yeah, a lot of times I'm in my office so much and I'm thinking, poor kid, but I'm here. If she needs me, I'm here. I'm in the house.
exactly.
And that makes such a big difference. I'm glad to see, men doing that as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So Todd asks, Debbie, do you have specific niches that you go after? I actually asked that question earlier, Todd, but I'll let you, I know you mentioned you work with a car wash franchise now and a few others, if you want to touch on those again briefly.
Right. Well, one that I'm hoping that I'm moving into, I've actually acquired a client that's in dance, children's dance. I
Okay.
have their website. They put out a template for their franchisees, and I became the vendor that is going to modify the template for anyone who needs help with that. And there's like 90 franchises around the world.
Wow.
So, and those are active, but they're bringing them on all the time and things of that nature. So, I have a friend of mine that we're about ready to get started on the 30 customer opportunities in the child dance. It's part of the preschool system and all that. So it might only be something that we run around the time that the educational, system's getting ready to start up, like fall or whatever. But, I see niches developing because I do believe, the universe is going to deliver up to me who I can help. And then once I can help one person, more than likely, the other thing, believe it or not, I'm getting a lot of interest from Reiki studios, Reiki, energy healing. I have a big background in spiritual, a lot of people would say woo-woo. So I've got a lot of background in that kind of stuff. That's what I do when I'm not working.
Right.
So what's interesting is that spiritual community of what we call light workers that do like massage and things of that nature, massage, Reiki. I mean, they're starting to come to me. So I see niches developing. And
Awesome.
I think that what we have to do is relax about niches, let them come to you.
Yep.
When you get good at something, more people are going to want help doing that. And that's where the niches come from.
Right. There's more out there than just chiropractors and dentists and restaurants.
Oh. Well, but I can see why people want to go for those because there's formulas. I mean, if you've got something that says, hey, I know how to do a Taekwondo studio, what are you going to do? You're going to go, oh, I'm going to go follow the formula.
Definitely.
And it's a safe way to do it. But I wouldn't limit yourself to it. Universe is going to send you what you're supposed to help. If you're really here to help people. And I think that's where the prosperity and the abundance is going to come in, is when you're really showing up for someone and really making a difference to their business.
Yeah. And I forget who I heard it from, but they always said, try to, if you can, go after a niche that you're passionate about. So like you just mentioned, you're passionate about Reiki and holistic health and stuff like that. So that's something that you're passionate about your business, but you're also passionate about that, that focus as well.
And I can say something about that. I was invited to Banff, Canada, and Alberta, the Canadian Rockies, to speak on the spiritual subject that I speak on. And
Wow,
what was really interesting, thank you, there was 30 people sitting in a circle, and we were, having our workshop, and people started to find out what I do. And I had 4 or 5 people say they wanted to work with me. So, and one person had hair care products in England that she has like 4 stores of like hair, people have thinning hair and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, can I please merchandise you in the United States? I'll do some Facebook advertising and just knock it out of the park for that.
Right.
So I literally, when you follow your passions and what you love to do, you're going to draw to you those people who need you. And then I can say this, I absolutely now am very committed to working with people I want to work with. I am not, I guess, part of it is age and wisdom. I honestly am not going to work with people that I don't want to work with anymore. I don't care if I get nobody. I'm not. I really want to be happy. I really want to be fulfilled. And I want to have resonance with the people that I work with, teamwork, collaboration. I'm not going to work with people that are, like off on their ethics and their morals, or they, try to take advantage of you, or they're superior or whatever. I'm not going to do it. So
good for you.
High five. Yes, high five, everybody. Yeah.
Know your worth. If you guys are with us, give us a hashtag worth.
There you go. Worth.
Yeah. We'll take one last question here from Jerry. He says, Debbie, how did you get your start? Was it traditional college education, and did you inherit into it?
Interesting. No and no. I literally have not. I mean, I'm just going to come right out and say it. I never finished college. I left college because my mom had a training business. I went and worked with her in training and marketing, and I became a video director. So I was making video on office automation technology. I was making videos, teaching people when they were microcomputers. I created a course called Up and Running. It was an audio recording, Up and Running for like microcomputers or something, showing people how to format DOS disks. I mean, that was, I was so much more interested in applying what I had inside of me, as opposed to, the formal education. I came close to an associate's degree, but then it really has been, I came in with a great intuition for marketing. I just understand it. And so, yes, you can take all kinds of schooling and everything else, and it's helpful. And, God knows I could probably complete one of those online courses and get that degree. But, the years of experience, having done that since I was 18 years old, my first trip to where I live now in Atlanta was in sales to sell office automation training programs at conventions. I started out really young. So that, what was the question again, though? You asked the, how did you get started?
It was, how did you get your start? Was it traditional college education? Did you inherit into it?
And when you say inherit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Jerry, what do you mean by inherit it? He also asked, were you studying marketing?
No, actually I wasn't. Okay. What got me into marketing was going and working with my mom's company. It was a training business, and I was working on how to make it succeed. And so, I started doing layouts for, ads, and it just came naturally to me. I just was born with it, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you're very easy to talk to, and it's like you said, you're passionate about it, and people sense that. You don't need to be the sharpest person to sense someone's genuine or they're not. So.
Well, and the thing about me is when I sit down with people, I will educate them as we're talking. So I want my potential client or the connections that I'm making to feel comfortable with what I do and what I know. And so I give a little bit of consulting as I'm talking with them. I give away some of my knowledge as I'm talking with them. They can know pretty quickly if they resonate with me or not, and if they trust me or not. And, in marketing, with so many people coming in just trying to take your marketing dollars, I really do believe that people, when they trust you, that's really important. That goes far above everything else, that they got to trust that you're looking out for their best interests and not just your own pocketbook.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So Jerry clarified, he said, like, did your parents do marketing and taught you how?
My mom was in sales and she
Mhm.
was a consultant and she was a speaker. So, and she is like, she's the pillar. She's always been the person that's been, like the person that I'm closest to on the planet. So yeah, I do think that there's a little bit of that happened. It's interesting because I am now speaking. I am easily getting up in front of people and speaking, and I see that in my future. Like I said, I do a lot of video, and on the personal side of things, I have my own YouTube channel, and I'm collaborating with people all the time and interviews and stuff like that. So,
What's your
but
YouTube
yeah.
channel?
Oh, it's called True Sacred Union. It's on relationships. It's on the
Okay.
new relationship models on the planet.
Everyone go follow that YouTube channel after this, or do it now.
Thank you. That would be great. Yeah. Oh, I have a Facebook group, True Sacred Union. I have a business page, True Sacred Union. I have a following. It's not huge, but still, it's something that I'd love to do. But that is something when I am asked that. Yeah, I probably did inherit some of that from my mom. I never thought I was going to be a speaker, though. Never. And now it's like I can just get up in front of people and it doesn't bother me at all. And I don't know how much of it has to do with doing a lot of camera, like my YouTube channel. I speak and it just flows out. I never edit it together or anything. So I've gotten comfortable. So once you do that, I think it's easier to stand up in front of people too.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
I agree.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Debbie, thank you so much for being here. This is an amazing interview. I think there was a ton of value here. Everyone, if you're still with us here, give us a hashtag Debbie. Lots of great stuff that I know I'm taking away from as well. That's something I really want to focus on, is more of the face-to-face, networking groups, chambers, stuff like that. Because like you said, you can meet so many more people all at once, as opposed to making a cold call, a cold whatever, So that's something I took away. I know.
Yeah, and don't forget your branding. It's really important. You know what I mean? It's really important. Come up with a logo that represents you. And then do something with it. Make sure that you have some things that make you really look professional out there, because you're going out there to meet people. And yes, Facebook ads, yeah, that's really important. And people are like, oh, that's great. But there's nothing like having that professional image to back it up.
Definitely. And it's funny you mentioned face-to-face. I actually am going today to a chiropractor to get an adjustment, but also to talk to him about Facebook ads. So it's kind of like you said, it's, the face-to-face stuff where I'm actually, I saw him on Groupon, and I saw he had like 1,000 of this particular Groupon, bought already. And I was like, hey, I actually need to adjust. My lower back kind of hurts. At the same time, I noticed you're not running ads, let's chat. So
love it. That's a great way to do it. That's what I do. I try every single person. It's like the car wash.
Yeah.
Get out there and try their services, because you know what? If their company is really, really horrible, you might not want to work with them, because you're not going to be successful, because they're not going to deliver. You can help them, but yeah, always try before you buy or sell.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Right? All right, you guys. Well, thank you, Bot Cave, so much for being here. Debbie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, guys.
That is the this is my send off line. That is the bot line. And when you want to learn more about bots, Debbie, you know the guy who to ask. So
absolutely. All right. Well,
awesome, you guys. Make it a great Monday, you guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you.